I'm on the flow. But you was thinking that I walk a mile for you. But let me break your heart and try and reconcile with you. She said she's from...
Hey, welcome back to the Skate with Jake channel. First, I'd really just like to say how grateful I am for all you that have liked, subscribed, and commented. Oh man, it really does mean the world to me because it validates me that I'm doing what you want to see. And so, speaking of that, we're going to be talking about side surfing and sidewinding today in this next video. And I think that's going to be the most amount of fun because that's where I know I have the most amount of fun when I'm skating. It's my favorite thing to do. So, before anything else, the first person that ever actually taught me or showed me how to sidewind was an older man named Magic Mike. He's 75 years old now. He was 72 at the time. It was 3 years ago. Just watching him, I was so excited. I was like, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. So, and I tried it. Man, I fell so many times for that first month. It was horrible. So I want to dedicate this video to my student Chris, who came to my first few classes, and it was one of his big things he wanted to learn was side surfing and sidewinding. But unfortunately now he's in Korea. So, hey Chris, good to see you. And I hope this video really finds you well and that everything's going good and that everything I teach in this video will be able to take you to where you wanted to be, right? And that being able to do that side surfing and sidewinding and get all that power out of it. We're gonna rename it. We're just gonna call it surfing and paddling. And speaking of surfing and paddling, right? You would never paddle or surf a bubble, and you would never surf a lemon drop, and you would never surf a swizzle. But you would surf a wave. So if over here I got my little wave video that I put a link up to over here, take a look at that because that really is the foundation for how we start surfing. But first you got to get down the wave. And then in this video, we're going to talk about the stretches that go into it. We're going to talk about the technique that goes into it. And then I actually brought an oar, funny enough, to show an example as to how I'm getting that power and what's all happening. Okay, so first things we're going to talk about is the body, right? And the stretches that are going to go into it and what it's going to take. And again, everybody's different. Everybody's got a little quirk. But the thing is, you got to learn how to work with the quirks and work around it. So here we go. So I'm going to sit down, right? And that first stretch, that's really good. We got to be able to open up those hips, right? So one of those stretches is the butterfly stretch. So I want you to come together and they're going to force that down, right? And sometimes you just bring it up and just kind of work into it. So if you can really open up the hips, that really matters. Okay, that's one of the stretches. You can force your knees down and out. Another stretch is known as the frog stretch. That's where you get in this position, okay? And you're gonna force your hips down and back, right? You're gonna sit into it and you really feel the stretch. You can even open up your hips even more. Kind of do a front shot here. If you're just together and coming down, but the more you can open those hips, that really matters for side surfing, okay? You gotta be able to open those hips and sitting back into it, that's another stretch, okay? Another one for stability and for stretch is known as the horse stance, like in martial arts. So you wanna open up those hips now, but sit into it. Because if you can sit here, that's side surfing, right? Now check your ankles. How parallel and in line are you? Okay, whoa. So that's what you want to be able to do. And even moving these ankles in this position, okay, maybe even to show it this way, how parallel are you? And if you can go beyond parallel, that's where we're going to be able to steer. And this is still basically just that horse stance. It's still opening up our hips. One last stretch to talk about is our ankles. Okay, so we can bring it here. And we can really just work on our ankle mobility, okay? We need our ankles to be able to move, and we need our hips to be able to be open in order to be able to side surf and sidewind correctly. We do not want to put a lot of stress on the knee. The knee is not meant to turn. The ankle is meant to turn. The hip is meant to turn. The knee is to stay nice and in line. If you try to turn out at the knee, I had a few sessions where the next couple of days I had some knee problems. So that's where I really learned how to stay stable on my knees and just turn from my ankles and turn from my hips. Okay, that's just the fundamentals off of it. The last thing on stretching and kind of practicality of it all is, can you just simply go from, you're standing in this position, put this foot forward, and can you just step back into parallel? If you can do that off your skates to step back into parallel, you're ready to side surf. If you can only step to there, you're gonna you're not gonna get in a nice straight line. So that's something you can really practice on, is just stepping into that nice parallel line so that you're ready to go. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about just before I show you this part is a little bit of the philosophy of how I got good. And I talk about 100% a lot, you'll see over time. 80-20 rule. 80% fun, get out there, go have your fun, get that emotional bank account full, only 20% practice. Because I did this one time when I tried to side surf, and I went out there and I was like, I'm gonna get it in one try. I wanted to throw away my skates when I was done with the end of the session.
What?
What?
So don't do that to yourself, okay?
Okay.
So what I want you to do is, I want you to practice first. As we're going, we're gonna work on just opening up and being able to side surf. As long as you can control this, that's good. Now, when you're going forward, the one in the front, your front skate, is your steering, okay? You need to be able to control that ankle. It's telling me where I'm going. Notice how my back one's kind of staying stationary? It's my front one that's steering me. If I want to go this way, or I want to go that way, this is all my front one doing the steering. Kind of like this doing the steering with the pedal. The one in the back, see that? See that power? That's that paddling. That's why I have this oar in hand, because that's how I'm getting the power out of it. Now let me show you something. I can lift my front wheel, and look, I can still sidewind and get power. That's like taking an open hand on the front of the oar here and paddling, okay? But if I want to get power out of it, I'm only going to have 80% of my weight in my back heel. I'm going to put just about 20% down. That's like locking my hand over the front of this. And now I've got even more. See that back power? That's exactly what that is. Boom, boom. So it's like sidewinding, but it's really more paddling. You're paddling through that wave. Remember the wave? So that's what we're paddling through it. This back leg. See that foot? It's got the power. The front one is my steering. It's telling me where I'm going, but it's the back one that's getting me all that power out of it. Boom, boom, just like that. All right, so for all of you that have ever wanted to learn how to side surf, right? This video, I hope finds you well and that you really get all that good information out of it. Please, if you have any comments, tell me what it is you liked or didn't like. But please comment. Let me know how it is that I could have done this better, or what it is that you want to see next in the next video, or what it is you'd like to learn. And beyond that, please like, subscribe, and it means so much to me to have you guys be a part of my channel and to watch you guys grow, and just it's just lovely to be a part of this whole community. And yeah, I love you guys. Thank you so much for all this, and I'll see you on the next one.